Hey everybody, it is Cool Coder here. Today I'm looking at the problem product of array except self. So in this problem we are given an input array of numbers, of integers, and we want to return an array such that the index is equal to the product of all of the elements except for itself. So it's kind of easier to show that in the example. So basically the result of the first index is going to equal everything except the product of everything except itself, right? So 2 times 3 is 6, times 4 is 24, and then 12. So 12 will be, the second index will be 3 times 4 times 1. 3 times 4 is 12, times 1 is 12. So that's where you get 12 from. And then same with 3. We're not going to, the third index, we're not going to multiply 3. We're going to multiply 4, 2, and 1 and get 8. 4 times 2 is 8, times 1 is 8. And then same with the fourth and the last index. So the last index will be the product of everything except the last index, right? So 3 times 2 is 6, times 1 is 6. So that's how we get that. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to keep track of a product, and we're going to set it equal to 1 in the beginning. We're going to loop through the input array and add the product times the index. Add the product to the result array, and then we're going to update the product with each value from the input array, right? So let's see how that works. So like I said, we're going to start with the product. We're going to, at the first index here, so we're at the first index, so we're going to insert the product, and then we're going to update product. So 1 times 1, so it's going to stay 1. And then we go on to the next index. We're going to insert the product here, and then we're going to update the product. So 1 times 2, right? So now product equals 2. So now we're on the third index. So the second index, the third item. So now we're going to insert product into the result, and then we're going to update the product by multiplying 2 times 3. So that's 6, right? And then now we're on the last index, and we're going to insert the product to the result array and then update the product itself, which will be 24. So now that we've looped through all of the items, we're going to reset product back to 1, and then we're going to loop backwards through the input array. So since these are the same length, we're gonna handle them both with this same loop and starting at the end, right? So we're going to multiply the result by the product, right? So we're going to multiply 6 by 1, which will it will still be 6, and then we're going to update the product by multiplying it to the number, the input array here. So 1 times 4, the product is now 4, right? So now we move on. So we're on this index. So multiply 2 and 4, so this will become 8, and then we're going to update the product by multiplying 4 and 3. So product will now equal 12. And then so now we're on this index and this index, and we're going to update result. So result equals 1 times 12, which is 12. So I can just write that here. So there's 12. And then we're going to update product by multiplying 12 times 2 right here. So that will be 24. And now we're on the last index, and we're going to update. So 24 times 1 is 24. So this will be 24. And then update the product 24 times 1, which is 24. And now we are out of the loop. And as you can see, this is the correct answer. This is exactly what they were looking for here. And yeah, so the time complexity for this problem, so we are going to loop through the input array once. So let's say the input array is of size n, and then we're going to loop through it again going the opposite way. So n plus n, right? So that's it. That's the idea. Let's code it up. Okay, so like I said, we're going to have an empty result array, and then we're going to set product to 1. We're then going to do our first loop like this, and then we're going to append the product to the result array. So we're going to do result dot append the product, and then we're going to update the product by doing product equals product times n, right? So that'll update the product. And then, so now we're done with our first loop. We're going to set product back to 1, and then we're going to loop backwards, right? So for I in range length of result minus 1, and we're going to go backwards like this. And so we're now going to update result of I and multiply that by the product. And then we're going to update the product by multiplying the product times the number in the array. So that's our second loop. We are now done, and then we're going to return the result. So that's it. That's the code. Let's run it, make sure it works. Hopefully I don't have any bugs. I don't. It looks good. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. Hope this helps, and I'll see you on the next one.